This is a story about a man named Joe who only needed to answer one question to become the President of the United States. The question was, what is 2 plus 2? He answered 4 and everyone was surprised. It turned out that the man was a genius. Actually, this story takes place 500 years in the future when human intelligence continues to decline. Collapsing buildings were only held together with ropes. Movies were no longer useful and full of garbage. Trash piled up everywhere. This happened because 500 years earlier people were too busy chasing money and having children, but neglected how to educate their children. Meanwhile, those with low IQs kept multiplying. With each new generation, human intelligence declined further. Then the country's military made a plan. They decided to freeze some people with hibernation technology so that high intelligence could be preserved for the future. Joe was one of the first to undergo this experiment. When he was injected, his body slowly fell asleep. This plan was supposed to last only 1 year, but the next day, the project leader was arrested, the laboratory destroyed, and the secret mission forgotten. 500 years later, a garbage heap collapsed and its debris scattered throughout the city. Among the debris, Joe's hibernation capsule was thrown into a house, breaking the door and waking him up. The homeowner was angry because his TV show was interrupted. In a fit of rage, he threw Joe out the window. Joe sought help outside, but people just gave him silly smiles. He entered a hospital filled with trash. The nurse only handed him a piece of paper with numbers, expressionless. The doctor was even stranger. He said, "Put the test tube in your ear, mouth, and butt," then added, "What you put in your mouth should come out from the back." Joe ran to rinse his mouth, but the tap water was filled with soda. He asked a man, "Do you drink water?" And the man just gave a foolish smile. It was then that Joe realized that it was now the year 2505 and he had been asleep for 500 years. Suddenly, the police arrested him for not paying his hospital bills. He was given a free lawyer, but it turned out that the lawyer was the person who had thrown him out the window. The lawyer instead accused Joe of damaging the house and disturbing his TV show. Joe was sentenced to 200 years in prison. Before going to prison, he underwent an IQ test. The question was, what is 2 plus 2? He answered 4 and was immediately sentenced to death by shooting because humans were already that stupid. Just before being taken away, he told a guard that he was actually already released. The guard believed him and let him go. Joe then tried to find a time machine to go back 500 years. He almost reached the location, but missed the train and was caught again. This time he was taken to the White House, because he managed to answer 2 plus 2 correctly. The president called a national meeting, and appointed Joe as the Minister of Agriculture, to address the problem of crop failure. However, when he arrived at the fields, he saw the plants being watered with soda instead of water. Joe told the people that plants need water, not soda. He immediately shut down the soda company, and ordered that only water be used in the fields. The company closed. Many people lost their jobs, and the people were angry at Joe. A few days later, the plants began to grow lushly. Everyone realized that Joe was right. They understood that Joe had given new life to this world. For his intelligence, he was honored and eventually became the President of the United States.